I'm here in Ottawa, and today I received actually a surprising amount of emails and phone calls from constituents about an article that was in the Calgary Herald today. And this is going to be mirror image, but it's WesJet CEO on WexIt. I won't tolerate that type of language. I'm going to start this rant by saying I fly WesJet. WesJet, it's a great local Calgary company, employs a lot of people. If you're a WesJet employee, thank you for all that you do. But I am going to take issue with what this guy said, what Ed Sims said. So he was talking specifically about the Wexit movement in some of the comments. And obviously I'm part of the Federal Conservative Party. I'm fighting hard here in Ottawa. So I don't want to talk about that. But he said a couple of things that I think are ridiculously tone deaf. The first is he conflated feelings of Western separatism in Canada with Brexit. And he prefaced his comments by saying, having come from the UK, I've seen 3 years of total economic paralysis and stagnation caused by Brexit. So, Mr. CEO, Brexit in your country, in the UK, is not Western alienation in Alberta. They are two completely separate conversations caused by two completely different sets of circumstances. The people in my province in Alberta, and I don't know how long you've lived in my province, but they are very frustrated at the fact that they have not been able to work because of detrimental policies put forward by our national, federal, domestic government, Justin Trudeau. We're not dealing with some sort of external body here as the EU as part of the conversation with Brexit. This is about policies that have been put forward against the energy sector in Alberta by Justin Trudeau. So no, it's not Brexit. And I have to tell you, when you preface a comment, just in terms of if your PR people or GR people are watching this, when you preface a comment about alienation sentiments in the province in which you are communicating to, and you preface that with having come from a country overseas, you're probably not going to get a great degree of sympathy. So I kind of had a problem with that. It was very frustrating. The next thing that I took issue with was, he said, the quote in the Herald is, Sims said he's increasingly concerned that talk of Western alienation and economic stagnation is reverberating beyond Alberta's borders and creating the impression that the province is not an attractive place to invest. If we are not careful, we will start using the language of a depression rather than a recession. And I worry because we are a Canadian corporation headquartered here. Well, here's the thing. The economic circumstances that are causing this alienation are caused by federal government policies that have had a negative impact on attracting investment in the energy sector. So if you want to criticize an environment of depression or recession or whatever, criticize Justin Trudeau's federal government and get behind the rest of us that are criticizing Bill C-69 and C-48 and the multitude and plethora of other punitive policies that have caused a downturn in the Canadian economy writ large, not just here in Alberta. It's not the people or the workers of Alberta who are feeling alienated, for whose fault it is for this feeling of instability. And I'm sure that WesJet headquarters today got a lot of angry phone calls about these comments. And if you want me to interpret it for you, how I felt was, it was like you were saying that it was the people in my riding who are out of work. It was their fault for, saying we don't feel like part of Canada because of the policies that Justin Trudeau and his Liberal Party have put forward. And that's wrong. We feel alienated for a reason. And we should all of Albertans should be doing two things: making the rest of the country understand the consequences of a downturn in our province, but also making people realize that it is up to the federal government and Justin Trudeau to restore confidence in investment in the energy sector. The last comment in this article, again, it was the same thing. He was, the Herald said that somebody at Calgary Economic Development, a government-funded, taxpayer-funded organization, said that the rise of separatist sentiment in Alberta cost Calgary an opportunity to attract a major technology head office. Let me be perfectly clear to anyone in the business community or these consulting advocacy groups in my city or in my province. It is not the rise of separatist sentiment or alienation or whatever in the electorate or the people that you serve or the workers that work in your company. It's not that sentiment that is causing this. It is the punitive policies that have been put forward by Justin Trudeau that have caused these sentiments. Do not blame this on the people who are suffering the consequences in an intimate way beyond shareholder price. Put it at the feet of the person who made these policies, and that's Justin Trudeau. Make him feel the economic and political consequences of this, and get behind the people who are your customers and your workers. Look, I love Canada. I'm a proud Canadian. But Alberta deserves a fair deal, and it's not the fault of the people who have had enough and are saying we need a fair deal that there is a lack of investment stability. That is set by who? The Prime Minister, the Finance Minister, and every Liberal backbencher that squeals and claps behind bills that shut down part of our economy. And I'm going to say it. If you are a CEO, and yes, you know what, the CEOs take a lot of flack, but many of them, they're running big going concerns. But the life of a CEO in Calgary right now is a lot different than the life of an out-of-work energy sector worker who has not worked in the last 3 years, 4 years, who's coming home to not be able to their family, to her children, to tell them bad news about losing a home or a car or whatever. Those lives are very different. And I'll tell you one thing. The out-of-touchness of people who are not living these circumstances, both within our own city and in our own province here in Ottawa and across the country, is what is causing the separatist sentiment, you guys. Come on. At this point in time, I think that if somebody has not experienced the plight of what many families are going through in my province, they need to either really listen somehow or they need to stop talking. I still love WesJet, but those comments were super tone deaf. And if we don't start calling them out, I will call them out in every instance right now, because they are what are dividing our country. And that sort of sense that somehow we are not entitled to these feelings of alienation is wrong, and I will fight against them every step of the way. Working hard for you in Ottawa. Have a great day.